It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly update from the IHSAA Commissioner himself, Bobby Cox. Now for the inside scoop on what's happening day to day with the IHSAA. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Bobby Cox.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Bobby Cox. Bobby, it's fall. It feels like fall. It's football weather. And we want to talk about football in the IHSAA, obviously week number 9 of the regular season coming up. But unified football is something that you at the IHSAA, your staff, your member institutions, and more importantly, the student athletes around our state have embraced as a cause, and they have done a fantastic job. And it's going to be highlighted here coming up this week.
You're right, Bob. Our second annual Unified Flag Football State Championship will be held at Grand Park in the Event Center in Westfield, Indiana. High noon kickoff between McCutcheon and Mooresville, two schools that weren't even in our tournament last year and now will be contesting a state championship. It's part of the Special Olympics partnership that we have and of our Champions Together program that is really run by the students from the Student Advisory Committee and the partnership with Special Olympics Indiana. Our second championship, it's a wonderful program. We started last year with 24 schools. This year we had 37 schools in the tournament, and we know that it will continue to grow. And so we'll culminate the fall unified season with the championships at Grand Park at noon on Saturday.
You know, we've talked about this before in our conversations, and you know, it is, as you point out, a student-driven initiative. And I think you and the staff and everyone involved with the IHSAA and the member institutions have to be overwhelmed at how the students around our state have not only embraced this, they have literally run with the ball, bad cliche notwithstanding, and it is an extremely important event for all of them.
It is, Bob. The reality is what we're trying to do is create a culture of inclusion and understanding. You know, students that attend our schools that have intellectual disabilities, they love their high schools just like regular education students. They just, before this time, have never had an opportunity to represent their school. Unified Sports and the program we do with Champions Together allows that representation to occur. And so what we have are students with and without intellectual disabilities participating together in Unified Flag Football, Unified Track and Field, which are sponsored by the IHSAA, Unified Bowling, and Unified Bocce, which is sponsored by Special Olympics Indiana. Mm-hmm. Together we offer 4 sports where these young people can represent their high school and be a part of the mainstream. And I can't think of anything that's more important than including all students in the high school experience. And so we have been able to do that through these sports. It's very rewarding. It's the right thing to do, and we'll have a great championship on Saturday.
Bobby Cox joining us, talking about Unified Flag Football Championship coming up this weekend at Grand Park. McCutcheon and Mooresville playing for the championship. I have an occasion, as you do, certainly when I'm at basketball games in the winter, to be able to see some of these schools during their unified nights, and it's an overwhelming experience. It's so much fun, and it's great to be a part of, just as a spectator. But I can't imagine what it's like for the kids and the parents and everybody involved in it at their particular schools.
Well, all along the time that these students with intellectual disabilities have been in our schools, they've been told no, and now they're finally being told yes. And if you've lived that life where you're a parent of one of these children who have been told no their whole career, and now all of a sudden they're playing at halftime before 1,000 people in a gymnasium, and everybody's standing up and cheering, and these kids are out there making baskets and being a part of the festivities. I don't think any of us can really fully understand how important that is, and it's part of a bigger Champions Together program that we've been working with Special Olympics here over the past 7 years. This week I've had an opportunity to participate at a convocation at South Ripley High School, where they were recognized for being one of 14 schools statewide to receive the National Unified Champion School, a tall bar to reach 10 different pillars that the school had to meet to get this recognition. Today, the entire school student body was in the gymnasium to recognize these young people. They were the state unified bowling champions last season. I can't think of a better way to bring high school kids together and communities together than what happened today and what happened at South Ripley. And I just am honored to be a part of it, and it's very enjoyable and rewarding to watch it unfold.
He's the commissioner of the IHSAA, Bobby Cox. This is our weekly conversation about all things IHSAA. Great stuff, Commissioner. Congratulations. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Bob. You too.
Welcome, volleyball fans, to our IHSAA sectional here at Mishawaka High School. We're in a very historic gym. We talk about it every broadcast, but we may have some new listeners. On the floor here, it'll say The Cave, established 1924. But it's one of the great venues to come watch any sport, but especially a volleyball match. I'm Matt Rendell here. I teach radio and television at Mishawaka High School, along with Isaac Hayes, who is one of our junior students who's done a lot of work with us this year. Let's go through our crew here. We've got Joe Swank over on our end camera. Right below us, and our side camera is Tony Parks. Next to us on the TriCast, they're going to be switching camera angles and doing graphics will be Nate Hildebridle and Austin Howard. And then listening to our broadcast and cueing everybody to do the right things is Declan Quintanilla. So all those people I just read you are Mishawaka High School students. So Isaac, it's been a long week. We've had a lot of stuff going on. Can you recap the week for our viewers? What have we been doing this week since Thursday?
So Thursday we had the first two sectional matches. It was LaPorte versus Adams.
And hold on, you skipped the morning. What did we do in the morning Thursday?
Oh, Thursday morning. We had the WNDU pep rally here at Mishawaka High School for the Mishawaka Penn football game. And, it was bright and early. We had to be here at 5 in the morning for that. And then later that evening, we had the first two games of this sectional, LaPorte and Adams and Michigan City and Riley. LaPorte defeated Adams in dominating fashion. And Michigan City and Riley, it was kind of close at some points, but Michigan City came out with the victory.
Yeah,
there.
Michigan City just entering here as they will be competing in the second match of our doubleheader this morning here at Mishawaka High School. And that second match will feature the first sectional playoff game for the Mishawaka Cavemen. So we're about ready to go here. Isaac, tell us a little bit. You saw LaPorte. I haven't seen either of these teams play, but you saw LaPorte play on Thursday. What were your takeaways from that?
The takeaways were, number one, Annalise Warnock, and two, Anaya Kennedy. They're really the leaders for this Slicers team, and, everything up front goes through those two players. So. And
Warnock is the senior, so that makes sense, the leader. But Ania Kennedy, is only a sophomore, so that's huge for a very good LaPorte team. I was just reading, we did a little bit of research here in the last 5 minutes, but reading Chicago Tribune talking about some of the best teams from that area of Indiana, and LaPorte was definitely one of them. So Plymouth's got their work cut out for them, but Plymouth's had a pretty good season as well as these teams look forward to a great match here. You ready, Isaac?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. It looks like we're going to start. Plymouth is going to be on your left here to start in the white jerseys with some black and red trim and numbers and the red libero. On the right will be LaPorte in black with your orange numbers and the gray libero. It's a little bit harder to see, but it'll be a Plymouth serve as we're underway. Great dig there by the Plymouth player. Plymouth Pilgrims, is that what it is?
Yeah.
There we go.
Pilgrims.
We should probably research this. And that kill goes off of Plymouth player, out of bounds, point, LaPorte. So LaPorte off to a great start, as right off the bat, Alexia Joyner will come into the game for the Slicers.
And, for LaPorte, we saw it all Thursday. Those balls that they hit where they spike, it's really hard to control coming off your arms. So.
Yeah. A great play there, but an even better block. Still alive, though, as it'll be back and forth here. Oh, boy. Right there, libero number 9, Anna Volker runs right into her own players. They both went for it, so it'll be a point Pilgrims. So 1-1 here early on. As it'll be Plymouth serve, as it'll be number 12, Sydney Weir back to serve. That one's high and pretty short. A big running kill there out of bounds. And you see Plymouth players are very excited on the sideline as they know coming into this they're facing one of the best teams in the state.
And, they sure do have more energy than we do at this early time in the morning.
Hey, speak for yourself, Isaac. And there it is. That was big time there. That was Ania Kennedy who got up really high and put that one right into space. And I'll tell you what, even if I was there, I'd be moving out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
LaPorte ties it back at 2 as the serve is up. That serve was from number 10, Cheyenne Seymour. And that's into the net, point LaPorte. So Seymour's back to serve now with the lead, and LaPorte can go on these big runs, and that's how they get big leads.
They did that a lot Thursday during Washington. They went on big runs, and Kennedy up front. She had a lot of blocks. We should have kept tally, but
yeah. Well, and there's Warnock right there. You talked about Warnock earlier. Hits it right into the block and goes out of bounds. So another point. I wasn't here. I was at a Mishawaka Education Foundation dinner. But you obviously saw them against who they play, Adams.
Yeah.
And just very good. And so far tonight they've done just as well. They had a couple miscues early, but they look like they're in control now as that's out of bounds off of Plymouth. Point Slicers.
And, those ones have to be the worst. You're running to this side of the court, and then they just hit it across court, and you're unable to reach it.
Well, not hit it across court, but the speed and velocity.
Yeah.
So far, a couple of these hits remind me of when we were here, and there was a girl, Swiss Stack from New Prairie, who was just hitting everything. Huge block by Warnock there. But New Prairie had a young lady, Swiss Stack, who would kill it from the back row.
Yeah.
And that thing. So right off the bat, Plymouth kept it close for 2 points, but it is 6-2 LaPorte. And it's tipped over, but right there is Volker.
That barely got over that block there from Plymouth.
Yeah, well, and a great play there. They tipped it, and then LaPorte had to scramble, and they couldn't quite get it, and so it'll be a point for Plymouth.
It'll be 6-3 Slicers here in set number 1.
Serve is over. LaPorte will put it up, and here it comes as Warnock gets to it, and that's going to be a point off of Plymouth, and it'll be LaPorte with the 7-3 lead.
And something that's carried over from LaPorte from Thursday is they have excellent ball placement. They're going to place that volleyball where, it's going to be virtually impossible for someone to get it or very hard.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Anna Volker goes back to serve. She comes in with a little bit more velocity on her serve than you see other people. That one hits the net and doesn't go over, so it'll be a point for Plymouth. Plymouth will go back to serve. To serve for the Pilgrims, number 16, Claire Sheedy. As she subs in the game just to serve. You see that often in volleyball. Nice serve as it gets over. It'll be up, and it's over. Right there is Plymouth, though. They're ready to go, and they get it over. It'll be the Slicers' chance, and that one's just tipped off the block,
nice
but
block.
still in. Yeah, great block there by Plymouth, but it is kept alive by the Slicers. That one's into the block and down. Point Pilgrims.
Those ones kind of have to lower morale. You're up there, you get the block, you tip it, but it still finds the ground on your side of the court.
Right. And it'll be another Plymouth serve. And a big time hit, but is right in the right place. A one-handed hit. They've got to get it over. Can she? She does, right inside that antenna. Great scramble by the Slicers. Another good block. You talked about their blocking before. As it'll be up, and here comes the Warnock. And that's... Well, we got a couple of things here. So, that hit the net, but they're going to say it went... They're going to say that hit a Pilgrims player and went out of bounds. There's some confusion there.
Yeah.
You saw some Plymouth fans behind us who thought it didn't go over the net. It hit the net, but it is a point in favor of the Slicers. A good job there to dive for that one as it is over. Volker will put it up. And another, and it's tipped. Great play there to dig that up, and there's a big hit, but right there is Volker. Another big hit, but Plymouth is there again as they'll get it over. And down. Ooh. And so far, a key player for Plymouth has been number 17, Miranda German, who is a junior, but she's been huge out there as she's had a lot of good digs and saves, and she's going to go back to serve this one.
Excellent ball placement there by German.
Really the only place nobody was.
Right.
And this will be Warnock who tips it. Still alive, though. Not a great tip as it went right to the block. A good hit. And that one goes right over. Big time spike.
Way to keep that inbounds. Excellent ball placement.
And that came off number 10, Madison Fig. And what you saw is a bad first hit that went over, and it was right there for her. She teed it up and got it over, as it'll be back to serve again as German for Plymouth.
And now the Pilgrims only trail by 1 here.
It's not the Pilgrims. I was messing that up the whole time. I don't know why. I don't know if I was thinking Plymouth, but it is the Plymouth Rockies. That's our fault on that. I know all those Plymouth fans that we told to watch. That's our bad. We got this. Warnock with the tip, but that's going to be a point on the net infraction there. So it'll be back to the Slicers as the Slicers lead 8-7. Plymouth Rockies, everybody.
Plymouth
we'll get this
Rockies.
Right. Sometimes we mess up. We've had a long couple days here.
Yeah, we have.
Warnock will serve this one. She gets it up and over. Not a great first hit as that's going to fall. Point, Slicers. And those are mistakes you can't have.
Especially in a sectional game. You can't make mistakes like those.
Well, against one of the top teams here in the state. It'll be Warnock to serve again. She gets it over. It'll be Fig. Big hit off the block, out of bounds. Point Rockies. Back to serve is going to be number 7. That is Chloe Holton, who gets it over. Big hit there from number 10 for the Slicers, and it's down as Cheyenne Seymour gets it over and down, and that'll be a point for the Slicers, now up 3.
I believe that ball was tipped at the net, and that was one of those where if it wasn't tipped at the net, it might have been easier to play for the Rockies.
Yeah, the block maybe got a tip on that, but then nobody could get to it. That serves from number 5, Justine Talbert. And a big-time block. Even if that wasn't blocked, I think that would have been a net infraction if she went right into the net. But there's another point, 12-8. Plymouth's really kept it close. You see a little bit of the disparity in talent, but Plymouth's done a really good job of scrapping so far. Talbert to serve again. Big gets it. It'll be back to German, who gets it up and over. And again, she's been great from that back row, front row, wherever she is, as she just gets to that one. And that's tipped, doesn't make it over, and that's too bad. And it looked like Fig kind of went in a little half-heartedly on that one and didn't get it over. Talbert to serve again, now with a 5-point lead. This is still set number 1 as it's over. It'll be Fig again. They're going to call that a double hit as she didn't get both hands on it at the same time. And now starting to get a little out of control here. 6-point lead for the Slicers.
And, if Plymouth really wants to get back in this one, they got to clean up these little mistakes that they're making.
Yeah, small things going on. Talbert will get it up and over. And German does get it over, so good job there by the Rockies to scramble. Oh, my gosh. Big hit there, but it is blocked or put back over, but then a bad hit there by number 16 for the Rockies. Claire Sheedy will give the Slicers a point, but I'll tell you what. Number 2, Anaya Kennedy, came in hard on that one, and that was a big-time hit, as, again, she is only a sophomore, so teams have to face her for a few more years.
I've said it once, and I'll say it again. We really need to invest in StatCast to get the exit velocity and speed off of that one.
That one is hit over by number 6. Kaylee Dove off the block, out of bounds, and that's another point for the Slicers. Timeout, Rockies, and we'll get a quick 1-minute timeout, but we'll talk through that. Isaac, we've had a long few days.
Yeah,
I apologize for the start of that, Plymouth, but we have fixed it. But we started with that WNDU pep rally, 5 in the morning on Thursday. You talked about the double sectionals. And then yesterday, we actually didn't have school, but we were here all day. What were we doing yesterday?
So yesterday, I arrived at 7 to set up, but we started filming at 10. We did a high school game day. It was based off of college game day. For the backyard brawl, it was great. We had students come out. We had interviews with Dean Huppert. We had Big Perm from U93 as our guest picker. And, overall, it was a really great production. You can catch it on YouTube on the Mishawaka Network.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it was fun. You guys had a good time. I did some of the behind-the-scenes, recording and stuff, but something we don't usually see coming out of these timeouts early.
Right.
Both teams are ready to go, and we're off and running. Talbot served it, and it'll be Fig who gets it into the block. Still alive, though. And that'll be a big-time hit and a kill from Kennedy. Just to finish up the timeout thing is Coach Steve Anderson, when he takes timeouts or whenever there's timeout, he takes that whole 1 minute. The ref's got to tell him. But both these teams are ready to go, so we got started early. Talbot to serve again, and that's up and over. This will be back, and it's tipped over by the Rockies, but still alive as Kennedy hits it right into the block and down. So Kennedy has come back into this match and has had a few, 3 straight unbelievable plays. As it'll be Talbot back to serve, all of a sudden 10-point lead. That's in play as it'll be a chance for the Rockies, but the Slicers are there. Another big hit. That one off the net. Oh, that's going to say it hit the antenna, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hit the antenna, and so that's out of bounds, and that'll be a point for the Rockies.
The Cave Antenna brought to you by Julie Fassett.
Assistant Athletic Director Julia Fassett, who's an unbelievable volleyball coach in her own right. Before coming here, she had won over 600 games up in Michigan as a coach. So we kept saying it wrong, but it is the antenna as that's out of bounds. Point Slicers. So we got that right now. In the game for the Slicers is number 4, Alexia Joyner. And back to serve, it looks like, it's hard to read those numbers. It looks like it's number 8, Paige Conklin. Great block there by Kennedy. The German gets it over, and that's going to be right through the hands of Warnock. Point, Rockies. I have a hard time reading those numbers for LaPorte. You know what it is? It's the gray inside those. Yeah. But I think that was right. I think we had it right. Back to serve for the Rockies, number 12, Sydney Weir.
Don't worry, it'll get easier once we start setting up down low.
There we go, right. We're going to be changing our setup. A great tip there, but is saved and dug out there by the Rockies as it'll be up. The tip, and it'll be Kennedy into the block. Great nice save by Volker. And that's in. Plymouth watched as it went by them, hoping it'd go out, but it stayed in, and that'll be a point for the Slicers. 20-10 here.
These last few serves, LaPorte's really been growing that lead.
Yeah, that lead went from 1 or 2 all the way to 10 pretty quickly. Make that 11. That was number 4 Joyner with the kill, and back to serve is number 10 Cheyenne Seymour, as that'll be her second serve in a row here, up 11. And a tip over, but Volker's right there. And this will be back to number 4, out of bounds off the block. So that was, again, second in a row for Joyner as she gets a second point for LaPorte, and that'll be back to serve again for Seymour. It's up and over. It'll be German.
And she'll miss-hit that one. That was number 13, Elena Clady, for the Rockies. And she really just hit that awkward. It was almost like the side of her hand or her wrist.
And we're getting close to set 1 being over already, 23-10. Only a couple points as Seymour's had a few good serves here. It's tipped over. The block couldn't get there as Warnock hit it off her hands, but it falls. And point Rockies. In the game for the Slicers, number 7, Leslie Marshall. And back to serve for Plymouth is number 20, the libero, which I don't have on here. Good job. That's off of Plymouth. Point Slicers, and we've got set point here already in our first match of our doubleheader.
And, if LaPorte can play this way for the rest of the tournament, I think they might end up being the sectional champions.
I mean, yeah, they're looking really good, even though that serve is long and out of bounds. Still a 12-point lead, and you just need 1 point. So Got a couple subs in the game. In to serve for the Rockies, number 16, Claire Sheedy. As she'll bounce it, she puts it up, and it's up and over. Warnock is there. He'll be back across for number 4, Joyner. She gets it up and across, but Plymouth is there, but back and forth we go.
And that's going to end the set as they're going to call a net infraction on
the Rockies. They're going to say, that, yeah, too many people there up front, and that'll be it as set 1 comes to a close, 25-12 in favor of LaPorte in that first set, as we're going to be taking a quick break here to bring you some IHSAA ads here in just a second. Set 1 goes to the Slicers. We have a 3-minute break here.
You want to feel goosebumps? Then purchase a ticket to an athletic event at your local high school. You'll be making a lasting difference in your community. Buying a ticket to an IHSAA game or meet helps ensure your school has the funding it needs to operate. New uniforms, safer equipment, transportation. Your ticket purchase helps to pay for it all. You're also helping today's student athletes learn the life skills they need to get better jobs and become better leaders. Plus, you'll see them do some amazing things.
Whoa! Did you see that? Oh man, I think I just got goosebumps.
Me too.
High school sports. We pay, they play. Everybody wins. This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Listen up, high school sports fans. This cheer's for you.
You're number one! You're number one!
Why all the love? Why do we think you're number one?
Because as high school athletes, we know there is no us without you.
We know that when you buy a ticket to see an IHSAA game or meet, you're helping pay for new uniforms, safer equipment, or even a bus ride to the game.
But we also know what you're really saying is, I believe in you. I believe you could be somebody.
When you think about all of the opportunities your attendance at an IHSAA athletic event creates,
and the fact that you paid for your ticket,
well, fantastic doesn't begin to describe how we feel about you.
High school sports.
You pay,
we play.
Everybody wins.
This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
We are back here with sectional volleyball with LaPorte and Plymouth. Just a quick update on graphics. We just figured out some things there in the break that we had the wrong teams getting the scores. LaPorte did win that first set, so we got that fixed, I think, now. So LaPorte did win that. We've got a lot of new people this year, Isaac, and so some of those things happen. We're working on it, new students. Even kind of crazier is that really the only people that follow a lot of sports are you, me, and Austin here. And so it's a kind of an interesting dynamic as we've got a lot of students that are willing to do stuff, which is awesome. But we're doing some learning. So Plymouth did not win that first set. It was LaPorte that won that first set as we move forward here.
And Plymouth is going to be on the right side of your screen now, and LaPorte will be on the left. And just a recap from the first set, it started out close. It was a nice back and forth matchup, but LaPorte started to pull away towards the middle of that first set. And
yeah, I think we had to score 8-7 at one point, and then once after that, it kind of got out of hand quickly. And not only is LaPorte just really good and sound in a lot of different areas, but they do it so quickly. They're not we're not getting back and forth volleys, back and forth. It's up, done, and we're moving on. So LaPorte will start with the serve here, as it looks like number 8, Paige Conklin, will serve that up. As that's tipped over, and LaPorte saves it, as it'll be back and off the block, but still in play. Volker puts it up all the way across. That'll be Joyner off the block, and just as I said, it's not back and forth. We're back and forth. Another good block, and that's a point for LaPorte, a point for Plymouth.
And the Plymouth bench erupted after that point was scored.
So Plymouth scores there, as it is 1-0. As we've got our graphics right, we're good to go. As it'll be Plymouth back to serve. It'll be number 12. It looks like Sydney Weir serving. The senior will put it up and over. And it'll be Kennedy down good. Now I'll tell you what, she gets up there quickly. She gets that ball down hard, and that's right into open space as it is now 1-1.
And back to serve for the Slicers will be 10, Cheyenne Seymour, the senior.
Yeah, and she had that long serving streak at the end, close to winning that. As that was up, that definitely looked like it was going out, but it was saved, and that's going to be a bad hit on Seymour, and that'll be a point for the Rockies. In the game for LaPorte is number 7, Leslie Marshall. Still don't have a name on the libero server there. As Kennedy just somehow gets that over. Still alive. Does that look like it hit her in the face? It'll be Kennedy. Nope, all the way across the Warnock. A big hit. Point Slicers.
And that'll tie it up here at 2 points apiece for the second set.
Volker back to serve. As we got 2 balls on the court.
You know, what's interesting is that we have ball girls here on the sideline.
Oh, okay.
So when the ball goes flying to the crowd, they just have another ball ready to go.
And you don't have that in normal games, is what you're saying.
Right. And just that way they can keep it rolling.
Gotcha. And that's going to be close. It's blocked. Still alive, though, as the Rockies will have a chance. They backset that one over. And this will be Joyner off the block. Still alive. Great dig there by the Rockies. And that's off the block, but still alive. Warnock down. Warnock again with the big hit, as that'll be a point for the Slicers as they take the 3-2 lead. And a bad first hit leads to the bad second hit, and that'll be a point LaPorte again.
And that one hit the antenna.
Yeah, and there was very little that number 9, Avery Christie, could do. Same thing, she stuck again. That time she got it. I mean, that was a almost miraculous save.
And that one, she actually had to wait for it to come off the net for her to be able to hit it.
The hit from Talbert is over, but out of bounds, and that'll be a point for Plymouth. As she will go back to serve for the Rockies, down 1. That serve is up and over. Warnock's there. It'll be back to Joyner. Joyner off the block. Still alive. A great block there to keep it up. As this will be German coming in strong off the block and in. Even if it went out, I guess it would have been off the block, so that would have been a point for the Rockies either way.
But that's going to tie it up here, Mr. Rendell.
Yeah, and just as you said, I just noticed the ball girl going to grab that one. They got one in over here. So it'll be a serve by Sheedy again. That one's up and over. This is Warnock, who came in, kind of mistimed that, and that's off the ceiling. Ceiling's good. It's kind of a unique thing here at the Cave, which we'll talk about in a second. Tipped over. Oh, but they're saying that she hit it when it was in a bad position there. We got a jagged kind of ceiling here, and if it hits that, it is in play. So you got to make sure to play it off the ceiling, and it kind of comes off on a weird angle as Plymouth has the lead.
Well, the thing with ceiling is that it remains in play if it stays on your side.
Correct,
if you
that's
hit
a good
it.
point.
If it hits ceiling and goes over, it's just like you hit it out of bounds.
A big hit by Warnock is off the block. It comes back onto LaPorte's side, but out of bounds, and it'll be point Slicers. And here's somebody I don't think this person's been in yet. This looks like to be number 11 for LaPorte. Number 11 is Hallie Seberg back to serve for the Slicers. Great play there. Even better on by LaPorte to keep that one alive. Kind of pinballed around there. As German will get it in and down.
And that's going to give Plymouth, I believe, their first lead here in the second set.
Well, they've been right there, but now they're up 6-5. As it'll be German back to serve, and German's been great for the Rockies. And she's got that spinning, jumping serve there. As Warnock will hit it out of bounds. Point Rockies. And Plymouth's kind of finding a little rhythm here. You know, they're doing these fast sets, and this serve is just amazing the way she spins that one up there and gets it over. That one was going to go out. It looked like you heard somebody yell out, but still in play. Oh. And that's too bad. Not a great play there by LaPorte as they got it. Paige Conklin got it over, but a little bit weak. But then everybody kind of stood flat-footed. German saying it was her fault there. She didn't quite get over there far enough as the Rockies lead 7-6. And that one falls as the Slicers kind of mishit it a few times. And it'll be another point for Plymouth as they lead by 2.
And, you know, Plymouth's really found their groove here in the second set. And if they want to take down this very tough LaPorte team, they're going to need to stay in that groove throughout the remainder of the game.
Really nice serve, but long by number 11, Sarah Hunter, as that goes out of bounds. As Hunter came in and came out just as quickly. She comes in to serve, and then she sends that one sailing long, so she goes out. And it'll be number 5 for LaPorte, Justine Talbert to serve, as that's over. Great play there. A really great kind of combination play as the set was by number 16, Sheedy, and then running across quickly to hit it over and get Plymouth the point 9-7. So it's kind of back and forth in the serves, but the 2-point lead as number 9, Avery Christie, serves for the Rockies. And they do get it across. As now it'll be a set to Kennedy, and that's not where you want it, but it's off the net and down on their own side, so it'll be a point to Plymouth. No? What are they calling?
Are they going to say it went
I didn't go over.
I'm not sure.
We'd have to look back. We aren't that well versed in volleyball. That's not our forte, and that's a bad hit on the second one, as that'll be a point for LaPorte. There may have been some infraction at the net here, too. So 9-9, and I'm sure when they see Kennedy go up, they're anxious to get up there quickly and closer into the net. So serve by Conklin is over, and first hit back over to the Slicers. Conklin somehow kept that alive, and then Kennedy hit it right into a Plymouth player, but still alive. And they're going to say again a net infraction. So again, another miscue by the Rockies will make it 10-9 back in favor of the Slicers. Tipped over, but still alive, and LaPorte's kind of got their thing going as Seymour comes in off the block out of bounds. Point Slicers.
And, well, Mr. Reynolds, the tides have really kind of turned here. You know, Plymouth found their groove, and then, you know, once Kennedy checked back in for LaPorte, they've regained the lead.
German with the big hit, out of bounds. Point Slicers. That was a good hit, though. That's close. I mean, you really like it being close there as German came in hard, and that's going to lead to Coach John Hutton calling a timeout for Plymouth as we have a 1-minute break, but last time it was quicker than that.
Yeah.
Let's finish up quickly, Isaac, about the week. You guys did high school game day yesterday, and then last night we had the big game. How did that broadcast go, you think?
So yesterday we had the backyard brawl, Mishawaka versus Penn, and the game itself came out in the Kingsmen favor.
Yeah.
But broadcast-wise, I think we did all right.
I think so, yeah.
We went and got set up early. You know, we were trying out some new equipment we got.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, we were working on some new stuff, but the broadcast went well. 21-13 was the final. The Kingsmen came out on top. But I'll tell you what, it was a pretty clean game. There weren't any turnovers or anything like that. But also not the most exciting game.
It really wasn't.
There's a lot of short runs, a couple big runs, one by Justin Fisher for the Cavemen to score a touchdown. A big-time run by the Kingsmen as one of their runners broke through 3 or 4 tackles to get in the end zone. But exciting game. You can watch that replay online on the Mishawaka Network as that hit by Plymouth is not good as it goes out of bounds, as now the Slicers lead by 4.
You know,
served by Talbert's over, and it'll be a chance for Fig, and they're going to call another double hit there on Plymouth, and that'll be a point Slicers.
You know, these little small mistakes for Plymouth, it's really what's costing them here in this game.
Well, and it's getting them out of the game. You know, you're down 5 now, and against a team like LaPorte, you can't really go down that many. As it'll be German puts it up for Fig. She puts it over, and Volker hits it. That thing looked like it was going out, and Volker saw it right away. Once she tapped that thing, she looked over the bench and she said, my fault. I knew that was going out, and I hit it. So point for the Rockies, trailing by 4. Served by Weir's up and over. And that's for Kennedy, and there it is. You know what it is about Kennedy, I'm just noticing, Isaac, is that she gets up there, and she gets that thing with such velocity, but it's coming down at you. It's not going, straight across. That thing had no chance of going out of bounds. Seymour will serve for the Slicers, leading by 5. German gets it over inbounds.
Oh, Warnock there for LaPorte. Almost looked like she got out of the way of that one.
Yeah, I mean, she knew she wasn't going to be able to dig that one out, and it was going to hit her in the chest. So she kind of moves, hoping somebody come behind her, but nobody did. As that'll be a point for the Rockies, 15-11. Kennedy had to kind of stutter step there, so didn't get quite the hit she wanted on that. And German gets it over. Warnock taps it over and down.
And, sometimes those little tips, they're just as good as, going up and, smacking that ball as hard as you can.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it there. They went up for the block, and by the time they're up there, they've already committed to it. That tip goes over as Volker will go back to serve for the Slicers. It's hit over. A great hit there by the Rockies. But the Slicers got a chance. The good block. Oh, and they almost got it. That'll be 4 hits. The Slicers were scrambling there, but they couldn't quite get it.
And that's going to cut the LaPorte lead to 4 here.
Yeah, so they're still there. If they can make a quick run here, Sheedy will go back to serve for the Rockies. It's up. It's over. Warnock, Conkler to Warnock. The tip.
Nice block.
Yeah. That'll be a point for Plymouth on a great block there.
And, if you're Plymouth, winning this set right here is going to be very, very crucial.
Absolutely.
So it looks like they're going to need to go on a nice little run here.
Another good serve. When Kennedy's out of the game as well, so that's big. Volker gets it over, but now they've got a chance as it'll be up to the middle, out of bounds.
Well, Kennedy for LaPorte, she only gets in the game when she's up front.
Right.
And then the libero will check in to play the back row.
So that was number 6, Kayla Dove, who came in with a big-time spike there, but it goes out of bounds. So 17-13 as the serve is up and over. 2 players go for it. They do hit it over in 1 hit. Conklin, big-time hit, and that'll be down point.
That'll be a net infraction on Plymouth.
Yeah. Either way, pointless Slicers as it is 18-13. That one's up and over. Good serve. Slicers keep it alive as this one goes over to Warnock. Big time hit off the block and well out of bounds. Points, LaPorte. Back to serve again for the 3rd time in a row will be Haley Seaberg for LaPorte as now they lead by 6 and it's getting later and later. And so Plymouth's got to get a run here soon and quickly. That'll be up and into the net, but over as that'll be Volker. Puts it up for Warnock. Big hit, in. And we had the perfect view of that one as we could see it right here. That was definitely in play as that'll be another point for LaPorte as they now lead 20-13.
And, they did it last set, too. Once we got up here in the double digits, they really started to just pull away with this one.
Yeah. And that's a bad hit, too. So another unforced error will make it 21-13. That serve is into the net. No good for LaPorte as that is a point for the Rock. Served by German. She's got that great serve. It just looks so nice the way she throws that ball up and hits it over. And Warnock taps it and
out of bounds.
German gets to it, but it goes out of bounds. Point to LaPorte, now leading by 8. And this is very similar to the first set. I mean, first set ended up 25-12, so Plymouth's already got more points, but they were in it for a while, and then it just came so fast at them as Warnock puts that serve over. Still alive as Seberg gets it up. Seymour hits it and down. Off the block and down, 23-14, as a couple points from being up 2-0 are the Slicers. Again, today's schedule after this game, we'll have a break. I think it's 30 minutes or so. Michigan City will be taking on your Mishawaka Cavemen. And then tonight we'll have the finals, which right now looks like it's going to be a LaPorte final, as that is out of bounds but tipped, and off the tip it'll be a point for the Rockies. Couple subs for Plymouth. In the serve is number 11, Sarah Hunter. Also in is number 12, Sydney Weir.
And that sectional championship, as you were talking about, Mr. Reynolds, will be brought to you tonight at 7 p.m. here from the Cave.
And here on the Mishawaka Network, as
That's
Hunter,
right.
I'll tell you what, I could be wrong, but I think Hunter's come in twice this set and both times put that serve right into the net. So not great for Hunter, as she'll go to the bench, as it'll be set point here. 24-15 is the score, as it'll be number 5, Justine Talbert, who puts it up and over. Blocked, but blocked out of bounds right into the official. 24-16. The serve is up and over as Christie gets it over. And this will be Kennedy, but a bad hit. A double hit there where she didn't get her both hands on at the same time. Gives Plymouth another point. So still a 7-point lead, but I think Plymouth fought a little bit harder in this one towards the end. This will be Warnock, puts it up. Kennedy, big hit. Off the block, though. Still alive. Oh, and that's too bad. Number 10 for Plymouth, Madison Fig hit it over, but right there was number 8, Paige Conklin, as that'll end the second set with a score of 25-17. So Plymouth drops the second set just as they dropped the first set, 25-12 first, 25-17 in the second, as LaPorte goes on to win set number 2. We're going to be taking a quick break to bring you some ads from the IHSAA. We will be right back.
If you bought a ticket to an IHSAA athletic event last weekend, give yourself a giant pat on the back.
You helped ensure our school has the resources it needs to support our athletic program.
You might have even punched somebody's ticket to a better life.
Yeah, like mine.
So give yourself a big high five.
Yeah!
And thank you.
High school sports.
You pay.
We play.
Everybody wins.
That's right.
This message brought to you by the IHSAA. What's included in the price of a ticket to attend an IHSAA athletic event?
Harris cuts left, darts right, and goes straight to college!
High school sports teach life skills that go beyond the field of play. Skills that pave the way to a better education and a more fulfilling career. It's all included in the price of admission when you attend a high school athletic event. All you have to do is buy a ticket.
I can do that.
This message brought to you by the IHSAA. What's included in the price of a ticket when you attend a high school athletic event? For starters, greater opportunities for our kids.
And here comes Lopez. He dribbles, fakes, shoots, and scores! A high-paying job!
Putting today's young people on the pathway to success. Inspiring them to never give up. Encouraging them to always do their best. Teaching them how to be better leaders. It's all included in the price of admission when you go to an IHSAA athletic event. All you have to do is buy a ticket.
I can do that.
High school sports. We pay, they play, everybody wins. This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Oh, my goodness!
We're back here in the cave again. I'm Matt Rendell from Mishawaka High School. I teach radio and television here, and then everything else is being done by students here today. So it's a fun time. We've got one more game after this here in, I guess, this technically the morning. Yeah, 11:45. We got one more game coming up right after this game is over. We'll have a break, and then we'll be bringing you Michigan City and Mishawaka. Mishawaka beat Michigan City earlier this year in 2-1 earlier in the season. So hopefully Mishawaka can win that. And then tonight at 7 o'clock, as Isaac said earlier, we'll have the sectional championship match here from the Cave. So this will be the end of our volleyball season today.
That's right.
As we really only have one fall sport left, and that's our Caveman football team, who will start their sectional adventure in a couple weeks as they take on Elkhart Memorial November 1st.
And then after that, we start to get busy with basketball coming up.
Girls and boys basketball. We'll bring you every Mishawaka girls and boys basketball game from the Cave. We'll also be bringing you, what else are we bringing? Wrestling. I'm hoping to do a swim meet. We'll see, though. And we're off and running here as Plymouth has a serve. A great block by Plymouth. But it is kept alive by the Slicers. It's hit over, and now LaPorte has a chance here as Kennedy gets it into the block and in down.
Nice block there.
And that's a point for the Rockies. There's a couple good blocks by Plymouth, as that'll be point Plymouth. They lead 1-0. As it'll be Conklin, brings it down out of bounds. Point Plymouth again, so 2-0. The serve again is up, and that's a high floating serve, as it'll be Conklin again. Off the block, still alive. Can they get to it? No. As that'll fall point LaPorte. An interesting thing for us is, we've done a lot of volleyball here this year, is these bleachers right below us aren't pulled out. So you have a little bit more space to work with down there. So they could have got to that. Usually that's going into the stands, but that'll be a point for the Slicers as Conklin gets the serve over. And just missed time there by the Rockies' number 12, Sydney Weir, as she went up a little early, couldn't tip it over. Conklin to serve again. She's been all over the place in this third set so far. And this time Weir does time it up right as it goes back and forth there at the net. And this will be Joyner. She gets it down.
And that's going to give LaPorte the lead here in the third set.
That 2-0 lead for the Rockies evaporated very quickly as it'll be Conklin to serve for a third time. They do get it over, as this will be Kennedy again. She mistimed that, but does get it over. That hits into the block. Actually, I don't think it got to the block. I think it right into the net, and that'll be a point for LaPorte.
And LaPorte's going to look to pull away here early.
Yeah, they are already up 4-2, and they pulled away late in these sets before, but oh boy, and that was kind of, I don't know if that was miscommunication or if that ball was coming in weird, but German with a great hit there as she gets the kill. And German's been awesome. I mean, like you said, Kennedy comes in that front row, but German goes through the whole rotation. She has the best serve for the Rockies. She's up at the net, so she has had a great match today. Volker dives and gets it, but that's going to be a ace for the Rockies as they tie it back at 4. Interesting thing about LaPorte is they only have 2 coaches down there. Do you see that?
Yeah. And then on the Plymouth sideline, I see 4.
I mean, at least 3 coaches. Maybe these are student coaches, but I mean, you see a lot of coaches over there.
Right.
Diagramming everything, getting everything. As that point goes to Plymouth, they take the 5-4 lead. But you only got the head coach and then the one coach on the bench there for LaPorte. And if that's all you need, that's all you need.
Right.
That's out of bounds. Point Plymouth. So Plymouth takes a 2-point lead again. We're back and forth here in set number 3, as it is 6-4 in favor of the Rockies. A diving save there by Warnock as Joyner will just get that over. German will hit it over. Good hit there, but a big chance there for Weir, but she didn't get enough power on that. As we're back and forth quickly here. Weir right into the block. A great elbow hit there.
Yeah.
But then a bad hit into the net. So there's some good back and forth by both teams. But in the end, it falls point Slicers. Seymour hits it up and over. Something's going on behind us as that is blocked, but German does a good job saving it. That's out. Just barely. That almost got the line, but that's going to say out as Seymour will go back to serve. And right when it was 6-4, now it's back to 6-6 as we are tied. What it is behind us is some sort of child punching dummy. As that is blocked by Warnock, and that is down for the point.
Actually, before the game when we were setting up, the Plymouth team brought that in. And on the back of it, all of the Plymouth volleyball players have it signed.
Oh, okay. So it's some sort of wobbling punching dummy that's behind us.
Maybe it's
very distracting.
Maybe it's one of those superstition things.
Yeah, sure. Warnock with the hit, and that's down. What a great hit. I mean, Warnock came in strong on that, and I'll tell you what, every time I look at the scoreboard, somebody's got a 2-point lead. It is 8-6 now in favor of the Slicers. Good serve by Seymour, as that'll be back Sheedy with the hit out of bounds. She tried to avoid the block, but didn't have enough space there as that goes out, and now it is a 3-point lead, not a 2-point lead.
And you know, we're about to get to that point in the game where LaPorte likes to pull away.
Yeah.
So.
One, they've got so many good things going to them. They got good serves. They've got good people in the back. They've got good hitters at the front. As that's off the block and down, Joyner hits it right off the block, and that's a point for the Slicers. Now they lead by 4.
You know, it's not that most things are going right for LaPorte. It's that things are going wrong too for the Rockies. You know, the
LaPorte's
double
good,
hits.
but yeah, that the block not strong enough there.
Right.
Seymour comes from the back, hits it too far out of bounds. Points, Rockies. You gotta think that Plymouth had a really good year, and they have to wish that they would have got this matchup in the finals. The draw didn't do them any favors. LaPorte had to play though. LaPorte had to play that first round on Thursday, where Plymouth had to bye. A great save there is a tricky little hit there from number 9 for Plymouth, Avery Christie, who tried to surprise him. Kennedy got her hand up there and hit that one right back at her, and that fell for a point. 11-7 in favor of LaPorte. German saved that somehow, as it'll be alive as Volker hits it across and down. And I don't know if that was on purpose, but it sure looked like it, because she hit it right in the middle. You had 5 different Rocky players running to get that one.
And that's going to give LaPorte a 5-point lead here.
Volker gets it over. He'll be German with the chance, but nope. Before she can get the chance, a double hit infraction on the Rockies, and that'll lead to a timeout. Plymouth, 6-point lead in favor of LaPorte right now. Let's go over our schedule one more time. You ready, Isaac?
Yep.
Okay, cool. We've got this match, which if it ends the way it's looking right now, will be the end of the entire match, as LaPorte won the first 2 sets. After that, we've got another matchup of volleyball teams, as Michigan City will be taking on the Mishawaka Cavemen here in the Cave, and then tonight we'll have sectional finals. Those of you that are fans of the Mishawaka Network, though, we've got some things coming up this week. We'll be heading to John Young Middle School on Wednesday for the school board meeting. No football this week, so everybody gets a Friday off. You can go out watch some other games. I know Elkhart Central will be competing on next Friday as they beat New Prairie. But then we'll be broadcasting our first ever live stream of choir the week after. So we've got a lot of things coming up as that serve goes out of bounds, and a point for the Rockies. It's not really how you want to come out of a timeout.
That's right.
Serving the ball out of bounds, but it'll be Sheedy back to serve for the Rockies. Zetted up and over and in play. And that's off the block and down, point Slicers. Serve is up and over for the Slicers. And still alive as LaPorte will keep it going. And that's Warnock off the block. And a great dive there by Conklin, but she couldn't get to it. Point Plymouth. German back to serve again as she's going to do that running serve again. Great serve, just out of bounds. It looked good. It was close. I'll tell you what, when it came off of her hand, I thought it was going way out. But it came in a lot closer than we thought, as that'll be out of bounds. Warnock for the serve. That one is down, but still in play. That one's way long.
Yeah.
So LaPorte has now built a huge lead as they are up 7 here, 9 points from victory and from winning this in straight sets. So we'll see if Plymouth can have some sort of really strong comeback, but Warnock will have the serve as that's up and over. And I don't know what quite happened there as number 7 for Plymouth, who is Chloe Holton, hit it over, but then didn't look back up. That thing was blocked, and she had plenty of time to recuperate as that thing kind of hung on the net for a second. Good hit, and that's off of LaPorte and out of bounds. A big-time hit there from number 6, Erin Renneker. As I really hope here coming in the game is Sarah Hunter. I really hope for her that she can get it over the net this time. That's a goal for us. She comes in as a serving specialist, and she does. Good serve this time. Good job by Hunter. And a big hit there by Seymour, but that's long and out of bounds as Hunter will get a go again. As it'll be Hunter, puts it up and over it and into the net.
She got one.
She got one.
She got one.
She got a point out of it, too.
Yeah.
Serve is up and over. Oh, great tip.
Nice play.
Beautiful play there by number 6, Erin Renneker, who just had a couple good plays. And that's too bad. She makes that play and she's got to come out for a serve. But she made a few good plays. As I'll tell you what, if nothing else, the Plymouth team, the Plymouth fans are excited about things. They trail by 6, but they are not showing it.
You know, they're having fun.
Yeah, you got to have some fun. It's a great dig. Oh, my gosh. And you saw the frustration on 2 people there. Coach John Hutton and on Miranda German as German saved that. I mean, that thing is coming in hot, and she put it up high enough. Somebody's got to get to that ball. Conklin puts it over. As it'll be a chance here as it's hit into the block, but LaPorte's got it. It'll be Conklin again. She puts it up for Seymour. Seymour down good.
And the Slicers are just 5 points away from moving on to the sectional championship here tonight.
Conklin with the serve. Still alive just barely as they get it over. And this will be Joyner tips it over. German's there. Sheedy gets it over. Great play there by Volker as it'll be a chance here for Seymour as she gets it across. The back set to Sheedy again. Off the block and down. Point LaPorte as they are now 4 points from winning. While we're on the broadcast with Plymouth, Plymouth did share the NIC title in football last night. They did lose, but they did get a share of the title as they lost to Northwood. So congratulations to the Plymouth football team. Seymour has got to get it over. She does. Great tip, but Volker's there. And this will be for Joyner again. She gets it over. Great play by Conklin.
Yeah.
And Seymour gets it over, and I think that was going out, but Plymouth went for it, tipped, out of bounds, 10-point lead, 22-12.
And, well, it
We're
looks
getting
like
close
we're
to the end.
It looks like we're going to see LaPorte in the sectional championship tonight at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, LaPorte's in good shape here, up by 10. As that'll be Joyner. She's got to get it over. She does, right into the block. Great diving save there by Warnock. She gets up smiling about that one.
Nice block there by Kennedy.
Yeah, great block by Kennedy. She was almost laughing about it, too, as she gets a big hit into the block. as Seymour will have a chance, and that one's off of Miranda German and out of bounds. 23-12 in favor of LaPorte. Again, stick with us here. About 30 minutes or so after this is over, we bring you Michigan City and Mishawaka, which will be on a different stream, but still on the Mishawaka Network. Huge hit there by Kennedy, but out of bounds. Point Rockies.
And Mr. Rendell, looks like we're right on schedule, as this next game scheduled will start at 12:30.
12:30?
And we're getting right near 12 o'clock.
There you go. 13-23. Slicers lead by 10. Seymour will have a chance here. Good hit down. It almost looked like nobody was trying there for a second, or nobody was ready for it for Plymouth, as we are now at set and match point here for the Slicers. As the Slicers faithful over there clapping. Seymour gets it up and over, and that's going to be a bad hit, and that'll do it. Not quite how you want to end it, but it'll be over there as the Slicers pull out the victory in straight sets, 3-0. What were your thoughts here on the match, Isaac?
Beginning of each set, Plymouth played hard. And, once both teams got into that 9, 10, 11 point areas, when LaPorte really started to pull away. So, Plymouth always gave a good fight in the beginning of the sets.
Yeah. And they've got some really good players. And honestly, I think those teams, Plymouth would have played very well against Mishawaka or Michigan City, or Adams or Riley for that matter. And so a tough draw for them, as they had to face LaPorte right out the gates in their first match. But they will end up dropping this in straight sets, 3-0, as you got Michigan City coming out. They'll be wearing white in our second match. Mishawaka wearing their maroons here from the cave. So for all the students of the Mishawaka Network, I'm Matt Rendell, and that was Isaac Hayes, and we are going to be back here in about 30 minutes to bring you Michigan City and Mishawaka.